Well, Tuesday's performance might not have been enough to exercise all of the demons that we had for the Seattle Storm in the 2025 season, but it was enough for them to earn a spot in the playoffs.
You have three people who are selfless like that, three people who are dangerously disciplined like that, and you have a coach that also embodies all of those characteristics. You can expect good basketball.
I love interacting with the fans. I'm excited for them to cheer for us because it's hell when you come here. I even welcome people that could be skeptical because it's new.
There's going to be a standard of excellence and discipline in everything that we do.
The Pacific Northwest, this area, how passionate they are. It's culture everywhere, but it's great culture here. That's what I want to be a part of, to compete for a championship. That's everybody's goal. And I think it's just how we go about things and habits that we create. I want to be around winners. That'll help us get closer to that.
And that's what the fans can expect. And we're going to have some fun.
The Seattle Storm are playoff bound in 2025. It is their 20th season in the postseason as they try to compete for what would be a historic fifth title in franchise history. Erica L. Ayala here alongside Roberta Rodriguez. We are your co-hosts of Tempestade Talk.
Yeah.
Yes, keeping a local eye on the Storm, brought to you by Black Rosie Media. And Roberta, we're going to do our vibe check first. I mean, whether it's the game or just things going on outside of the WNBA, what's your vibe? How you feeling?
I'm going to say last night brought some really good, much needed good vibes for my life. Life has been busy, but I'm going to say that being at that arena yesterday, just with the fans, I think that was the most energized that I've seen Climate Pledge Arena this year. People were rallying behind the team the whole time. It started loud and it ended even louder. So, those of us who love sports, who, we are, we're into women's basketball. I mean, you are into even more sports than I am, Erica. But to see that atmosphere yesterday, that's the kind of atmosphere that drew us to this crazy idea of being sports reporters. It is kind of a crazy thing to do and to want for your life. But here we are. So last night was so fun to be in WNBA media and experience that, the real life experience of where the WNBA and, just women's sports fans are and what they get to experience. It was a good game. I am so happy that the Storm was able to clinch that spot for so many reasons, because like I said, this is a good team. We're going to talk more about that. The fans deserved it. And also it's much better to be in a post-game press conference with very happy players than the other way around.
100%. We did not want to come on here and have to, have to talk about another loss.
Nope.
It just was starting to get pretty bad. So,
yeah.
I'm happy for the fan base, as you mentioned. I am obviously happy for the players. They worked really hard. We're going to talk about Erica Wheeler, and I see Moni in the chat here. Good to have you back with me. Manuel, I mean, listen, I know, tough break for LA. I honestly did feel bad for the Sparks.
I felt so bad.
I did, and obviously we're here hosting the Seattle Storm podcast for Black Rosie Media. And they did what they needed to do on Tuesday night. It just is that they didn't do enough throughout the collective of the season, but they really down the wire when they got Cameron Brink back. They started to be a little healthier. You saw some of the promise of that team, but just wasn't meant to be for them. So, it's an unfortunate break. Very dark times. Listen, there's
Yeah.
a lot going on that this podcast, it's out of the purview of this podcast, but it's something that I say on my Seattle Kraken podcast. Just a reminder to be kind to yourself, and as much as you can, be kind to others. That is how I try to live my life. Politically, I disagree with a lot of people on a lot of different, varying degrees. And I just am at a point in my life where I'm just trying to be good to myself first
Yeah.
and foremost, and then have grace for everybody else. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it there for now. But it's
Yeah.
also, it's also a wild time, in the WNBA. There's a lot going on as far as the playoffs, which we're gonna break down. There's a lot going on as far as the collective bargaining agreement. The tea is always
Yeah.
hot in the WNBA. So yeah, there's a lot going on for sure. Eagles brother 92. Happy Seattle Storm clinch a playoff day. I love that. We're decreeing it here, and actually something where we can actually make it official. Yes, I don't want to go off specifically from Seattle. Let's break down this game, Huberta. I mean, it came down to the wire. A 74-73 win when it was all said and done. Last minute layup by Nneka Ogwumike did not officially count.
No.
Your leading scorer and the person who seemingly put the Seattle Storm playoff spot on her back, one and only Erica Wheeler.
Yeah. Erica Wheeler. Listen, I'm just gonna say, and I'm gonna go put it out there. Early in the season, actually not early in the season, late in training camp, when we didn't know who the Storm was going to keep, when we didn't know who was going to be cut, I made a bold statement on Twitter and said Erica Wheeler would be the best choice for the Storm to keep on their roster. People said that I didn't know basketball. People said that that's something that could never happen. Just go watch yesterday's game. And breaking the game down, the Storm started, losing. And at some point, the Valkyries opened an 8-point lead. And so at sometime in the first half, the Storm went on a 17-2 run to take the first lead. In that 17-2 run, most of the 7 of those points came from Erica Wheeler. And the other ones came from Dominique Malonga and 2 from Nneka Ogwumike, but in free throws. So we saw the Storm bench, aka Dominique Malonga and Erica Wheeler, step up and literally lead that win. That win was led by the bench. I think there were 26 bench points this year. We saw, it was a collective effort as a whole. It was a back and forth game. I think there were 14 ties and 10 lead exchanges. There was no chill. And that's something that the Storm has not graced us with this season. There hasn't been a single chill game for us in this second half. I was a little concerned there would be, one or more overtime and a school night when we work the next day. But the Storm was able to close the deal in, a nail biter and Hail Mary by Erica Wheeler. One thing that stands out from this game is one of the Storm's main issues in the season, and it is that they only played 7 players. They only played 7 players. Gabby Williams only had 2 points, and Ezzy had only 6. But All of the other players, except for Katie Lou Samuelson, were DNP, coach's decision. But alas, I actually said it was the other way around. It's 14 lead changes and 10 ties. The biggest lead was 10 points by the Valkyries. In the first quarter, it did seem like, there wasn't going to be much of a chance for the Storm to take the lead, but then they came back and were able to take the win. They were able to beat the Valkyries in rebounds, which has been a big issue for the team. They were 30 points in the paint, but they also held the Valkyries to only 30 points in the game. I think that all in all, they did do a good job with Veronica Burton. She could have scored much more. She did have 14 points and 11 assists, but they did hold her to 5 of 14 in the game. It was back and forth. There were lots of blocks, 7 on the Storm side, 4 on the Valkyrie side, and of course, Ezzy McBegor with 3 of those blocks, and Tammy Faminle with 3 of those blocks on the other side. It was a big defensive game. There were, lots of turnovers from both sides. The Storm had 13, the Valkyries had 4, but once we saw players get loose on the Storm side, mainly Erica Wheeler and Dominic Malonga, even though she helped mostly in that stretch, that's when we saw the team start to take over.
Yeah, this was not a beautiful game for Seattle, or for the Valkyries for that matter. As I was just setting up, we are gonna try and co-stream more on Instagram. So I was just setting that up as you were talking. But it wasn't a pretty game. They had to win ugly. But what we heard NECA and Wheeler talk about after the game was that, and Noelle Quinn addressed this as well, but we've talked so much about the Seattle Storm losing close games. And they were able to eke out a win in a close game. Now, mind you, I think it is worth noting that the Valkyries did have a possession, and they got, 2 pretty good looks. I think kind of a Hail Mary. You talked about Hail Mary for Erica Wheeler. I thought it was a pretty good shot. I didn't think it was really a Hail Mary. I think it was a pretty solid mid-range shot.
I was gonna say buzzer beater, but I wasn't sure that was the right term.
No, and it wasn't. It wasn't exactly. It was a game winner. It was a game winner.
Yeah,
but not like at the buzzer. To your point,
trying to remember the word that I was trying to say. I shared with a friend. Hold on.
Yeah, but I think
Hero
it
ball.
was a good game in that they were able to get things done. It was a good game in that they won. That's what they needed.
That's what they needed. Yeah.
Points in the paint. They were dead even on points in the paint, so they didn't get blown out 60-30, which we have seen in games before. They won second chance points, which we know is the bread and butter of the Seattle Storm when they're able to get their offense in rhythm, in transition. The same for fast break points. I think Dick Fane and his very energetic style said something to the effect of, the Valkyries couldn't keep up with the speed. That's a Valkyries team that hangs their hat on defense. And when they can't set up their defense, that is going to speed them up a little bit. Did have more turnovers than the Valkyries, but not by many. But both teams had 12 points off of turnovers. And as you already alluded to, bench points, huge. 26 bench points for Seattle, only 5 for Golden State. And you mentioned the rotation. I think between Golden State, Seattle, New York, those are obviously the teams that I've seen most recently. But we're starting to see teams that we know are going to the playoffs start to shorten their bench, because that's what we're going to see in the postseason for sure. But what I thought was interesting, and something that I've definitely talked about, actually you and I talked about with Brian, my big prediction for New York was that they were going to have someone who's been in their starting rotation come off of the bench to do exactly what we saw Seattle do, to up the bench points 26-5.
Yeah.
And that is because Erica Wheeler, and NECA talked about this, as you know, at the end of the game. She talked about how Erica Wheeler made the team. As you already mentioned, you were gung-ho. I wasn't sold on it. I wasn't completely sold. I've said it. I'm gonna own it. I'm not gonna front like I didn't say that. I wasn't like completely. There are other things
Yeah,
that someone did,
I know it. It's the same. Like I own the Dominic Malone.
that burnt my grits. But Erica Wheeler was just one where I was like, I don't know if I believe in it, but I'm open to it. But and you know, her being a true two, I know I think it was Craig, I think, in our chat, and Moni co-signed, right? Is she our true two? I still don't know if I agree with that, but she played that role, and that's what we've needed. So between her coming off of the bench, between her playing more of a two guard role, I mean, you got to look at what she was able to do from the perimeter.
Yep.
Erica Wheeler, she shot 5 of 7, 71.4%.
Yeah, she Erica Wheeler and head coach Noel Quinn did say something about her, that she's having a career year, and we're talking about a player who is in her 9th or 10th season, and she's having a career year. She's averaging 10.3 points per game, 40% from the floor, 37% from the 3-point line. But what we saw last night was a player who is not afraid to step up, who is not afraid to take hard shots, and who is not conservative. And that has been Erica Wheeler the whole season. One thing that NECA said in the post-game press conference is that not everyone has what it takes to be the hero of the game. That people have the opportunity, but not everyone has what it takes. And Erica Wheeler has what it takes. She prepared for it. She saw the opportunity, and she took that opportunity. And that's what happened. And that's part of what we have been talking about here. We're talking about being aggressive. We're talking about not being afraid of play basketball, because sometimes, and the feeling that I have, all of the sections of the game when the Storm fell, they were down 10 just like by halftime. The Storm has been afraid to shoot the ball. They are afraid to shoot the ball. They hesitate a lot. That's a lot of what I have seen. They hesitate to pass, they hesitate to shoot, and they hesitate to get rebounds. And that's something that really gets me. Like, this is a team that should not be hesitating for that, but they did a lot of that. And what Erica Wheeler did, and what Dominic Malonga has been doing the whole season, is not hesitating. Dominic Malonga, and I've said here, is fearless. She has no fear whatsoever. She drives to the basket. She stays there waiting for the rebound. She like, it doesn't matter who is in front of her. It can be Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier. It doesn't matter. She's going to go up to the basket. And against the Liberty, she was ready to dunk, but Stewie was like, not on, because she was going to dunk on Stewie. But anyways, Dominic Malonga is not afraid to do anything, and neither is Erica Wheeler. And one thing that Erica Wheeler talked a lot about was her energy. Someone asked if because she had like she was very energized. She just like never stopped. And someone asked if that was coming from the crowd. Like, did you get your energy from the crowd? She was like, no, you don't know how annoying I am at home. I have energy myself. And that is true, and that's the boost of energy that the Storm has been needing for such a long time. They have been like a little apathetic in the past years with just being the way things are, that you have more reactive players in the roster. And if reactive is a wrong word, I apologize, and I will stand corrected if that's the case. But we're seeing a Seattle Storm that's not afraid to show their emotions, and
Yeah.
this is making a big difference for them.
Mhm.
Erica Wheeler has that. It's like an innate thing for her, and she brings that to
100%.
her basketball.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. Eagles brother 92. I didn't even realize this.
Woo.
But when you have the number 2 pick, you
You
play
play
the
her.
number 2 pick. Come on. What are we? Come on. You have to play the number 2 pick. But
Yeah.
y'all know I've been on that since before the season even started. Now, this is, we already have people talking about expansion, etc. And Stephen AM was like, all right, isn't this premature? We got to wait till free agency. Well, not only do we have to wait till free agency, Joeta, we have to wait until we know what's going on with the collective bargaining agreement. And to that end, this is a news thing that I'll be talking about and writing about a little bit more over at CBS Sports. But today, amid a lot of chaos going on, the Democratic Women's Caucus, they released a letter of support that really was pressuring the WNBA to negotiate in good faith with the Players Association. We heard from Madam President herself, Nneka Ogwumike, was on that call. And this is something interesting that she said. I don't have the full quote in front of me, but what she said is that there are at least 7 teams, and you've alluded to this before, there are at least 7 teams that the Players Association feels that they are fighting with when it comes to equitable pay. And then she said at least 7 and maybe all 13.
That's the quote that
and she's talking about the ownership groups.
Yeah.
And that is really, it's interesting. It's not completely surprising because, again, we've talked about this before, but it is definitely interesting that, again, there are organizations that are not on board with more equitable pay. Again, not going to get into it too much on today's episode, but I just want to mention that there's a lot of dissecting that I want to be able to do. I know other people who were on that call, Ben Pickman, you know, the usual suspects, Ben Pickman, Jackie Powell was on the call. Annie Costable was on the call. So I'm sure, and myself included, we're going to have, I think we all know where Chicago is in that 7 versus the not. But anyway, we're not going to talk too much about Chicago today either. It's 7 of 13 is oof.
It's easier to guess the teams that are pro, like let's say New York,
Valkyries, maybe Atlanta, at least based on where they stood on the charter situation.
Yeah.
They were one of the more active ownership groups when it came to charters.
Yeah. I would say Washington because they have NBA money, maybe.
I don't know if I have a lot of faith in Washington, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the Storm also. Like, I'm not convinced. I may be very wrong, but I'm not convinced that they are.
Let us know in the chat, though. Who do you think, if there are 7 teams that Nneka says she can absolutely identify, who do you think? And she said, I don't know, maybe 13. So it's not a guarantee that the other 6 are on, that they're down for it. But if I had to guess, I think New York, Atlanta, those are my 2 guesses for sure. Maybe Golden State. But here's another thing. We're starting to see more ownership groups, and it seems like it's a trend that the WNBA needs to follow. is to have the ownership groups be NBA ownership groups. And we haven't really seen that push to have the majority of teams be NBA owners since the inception of the WNBA. And next season would be year number 30. And to kind of go back to that, I don't think people realize that there are definitely some downfalls to that model. And I think we're already seeing them play out. But again, we are going to focus on the postseason. The Seattle Storm are in the postseason. The New York Liberty are in the postseason. So your two Black Rosie Media teams that we cover extensively are in the postseason. And so we are definitely going to focus on that while keeping our eyes and ears open, keeping our finger on the pulse, if you will, for what's happening. But let us know in the chat if you had to guess the 7 teams that NECA's like, yeah, they're not down with the business. Let us know in the chat. I'm just curious what people think there. But something else that we have to talk about is, okay, so if we look at the standings, and so we know the 8 teams that are in: Minnesota, Atlanta, Vegas, Phoenix, New York, Indiana, Golden State, and Seattle. What we don't know is the seeding, but right now, Seattle is the 8 seed. And Joeta, Minnesota is the 1 seed, which would mean in a 3-game series where we go 1-1-1, which I freaking hate that format. I said it when they announced it. I think it's the dumbest thing, but we'll talk about that. Do you think we're going to get Minnesota versus Seattle in a 1-1-1 best of 3 series?
Honestly, that would be the best scenario for the Storm.
I think so too.
Because they have beat the Lynx twice, I think, this season. And exactly. But here's the thing. Golden State plays Minnesota tomorrow. If the Valkyries win,
they get 6.
If the Valkyries lose, they get 8. So basically, the Valkyries, the Lynx can choose who they're going to play in the second round, which is hilarious because, so the Storm is 8th now. So as of now, Minnesota could play Seattle, but if the Valkyries lose tomorrow, they drop to 8. Yeah, and I thought the Aces could go to be a second.
I think they can, right?
They came. I think that if Atlanta lost today, the Aces would secure second spot, but Atlanta won, so Atlanta is still holds the second spot.
Yeah,
and everything's gonna come down to tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a day in the WNBA, last day of the regular season. So the Valkyries play the Lynx at 5 p.m.
Central, or excuse
me,
Pacific.
Yeah. And then there's Mercury and Dallas, Aces, and LA. Everything will be decided tomorrow. So we don't know who plays who when. So I think that the Storm would prefer to take Minnesota in the playoffs because they have been able to beat them.
Yeah. Listen, we know that this is not, I mean, they won their games, so they controlled their destiny. But as I said in the cold open, this is not like, this does not erase all of the problems that they've had all season. Like, not even close. And the reality, it is the reality that they are in the playoffs. And so, yeah, we're going to focus on that because that's what the team honestly has to focus on. But there are a lot of question marks, including that, as we said, that wasn't even a particularly good game. It was, they had to thug it out. As John Paul Jones, I love when she says that. She's like, yeah, you know, sometimes you got to thug out a game. They thugged that thing. They thugged that
They
thing.
did.
Okay?
They did it.
Snatched us
Yeah.
in the jaws of defeat, like, but that's what we've been wanting from this team. So although it wasn't quote unquote perfect Seattle Storm basketball, I don't even know what that could even look like for this year. It was a step in the right direction. So yeah, we trust. We know. Oh,
we've been talking about this scene.
We know.
Things did not look good. Like, it was not a good game at some point.
But sometimes it bees like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
this team hasn't been able to win ugly games. So Steven, that's what Hoeta was just saying. They kind of get to choose their opponent. Which locale gets them the most frequent flyer miles. That's really funny.
Not anymore though.
Shooting tired starters, but exactly, they have a chance. And tired starters, it was again something that the broadcast mentioned. That that's not going to get fixed because, again, I talked about it earlier. Some teams, we've already seen them start to shorten their bench to get ready for the playoffs. The stamina, you've talked about this before. The stamina for this team, the fatigue, mental, physical fatigue for this team could be a factor. And that's it's one of the few reasons why I don't like the 1-1-1. This has been a season. We know that this was decided last year. A lot of people believe that Indiana not getting a home game might have contributed to that. And then Indiana, they'll get one this year, but who knows who they'll have playing for them.
Oh my God. It was the most. Sorry, there's so much that happened in Indiana this season.
Yeah, there's so much. But the reason I don't like this is that the name of this season, well, there's a lot of storylines, but one of the top storylines has been injuries. Indiana alone has 5 players and 1 coach on the season.
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
5 players and a coach, to the point that national outlets, maybe like the 3-letter organization I sometimes work for, they are writing about that a coach got a season-ending injury. 5 players and a coach, and one of those players, Caitlin Clark, season-ending injury. That's just Indiana. The New York Liberty. Let's see. How many games have they won? The New York Liberty have 29 wins. Of those 29 wins, only 11 have had Jonquil Jones, Brianna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu healthy from start to stop. 11 out of 29 games. Phoenix has been beat up. Asia Wilson missed 3 games in concussion protocol. Nafisa Collier sat at a very inopportune moment, and for some people, it might have cost her an MVP.
Might have cost her the MVP. Yes, they need. There's so much that needs to be thought about for the CBA. It's not just salary. It's not right. But before we even talk about the freaking CBA, the league unilaterally, I don't know if the Players Association was involved in this. They decided they thought it would be a genius idea in a season that is the longest and most truncated to go 1-1-1 in the first round. The games start on Sunday. If I'm not mistaken, they're wrapped by midweek. That's a short turnaround, and we don't know. We don't even know where they're going. Some of these teams might be going across the freaking country in the first round. I don't care. Okay, you want to give the team that has the worst record, you have to give them a home game? Then make them play game 1 at the lower seed, and then you stay at the higher seed for 2 and 3, if necessary, 2 and 3. But that way, the higher seed still gets to clinch, and they get the majority of the games, and neither team has to travel multiple times if it goes the distance. I just don't understand why it has to be a 1-1-1. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, from what I understood, reading the CBA, anything related to playoff format changes or any sort of like format changes of everything is at the discretion of the league and doesn't necessarily need the approval of the players or
that's
the
huge.
players association.
That's
So yeah, so that's why a lot of it is just the CBA needs to take care of a lot of things for the players. It's not just about, getting I mean, they need to put the charter flights in the paper in writing.
Honestly, don't even get me started on that, because the fact that is not ratified into, like, I don't know how anybody is letting that happen, and it's still not even a part of this collective bargaining agreement. As far as I know, no one's mentioned. I feel like I'm the only one that mentions that all the time, because I don't understand how it's not ratified.
There's mentioned that
there's no amendment. It's not ratified at all. So the league did it because they could, and what happens?
I remember that was one of the first things you said to me when we met, when we reconnected in New York. We had like this very lengthy conversation about the charter flights, because that's when it was just happening. But here's the thing: it's not just about revenue share. It's not just about being able to fly charter. If we're talking about player safety and player experience, the schedule needs to expand. 44 games in this short period of time, or just like have it needs to change, because there were and players are getting more physical than ever. Players are stronger than ever because they have more resources and more time to focus on their bodies, since they don't have to take thousands of jobs. So it's not everything about the league today. Like the CBA, they need to go all in. That's my hot take. The WNBPA needs to ask for everything, every single thing in this CBA. Everything needs to change. And it's not only about money, it's also about schedule. It's about so much that every single CBA up to now has been updated to make the WNBA look less bad. Now the CBA needs to exist for players, to benefit players. It can't be a CBA to make the league look less bad. It needs to be something that's going to be good, great for the players.
I mean, and Asia Wilson, she said an all-star, like standing on business. So we don't know what that'll look like. But again, the Democratic Women's Caucus really galvanizing support. It was Ben Pickman from The Athletic that asked the representatives, what is the negative impact if a CBA isn't agreed upon and there's a work stoppage? And they talked about downtown areas in Phoenix. They talked about, oh my goodness, the Minnesota, as a New Yorker, the Minnesota representative was very salty about the finals. Like, love that you're a fan.
Want to talk about that?
Like, can we relax? Can we relax? Like, can you not take a dig at New York for like a whole second to stand on business? But anyway, I digress. That wasn't the point of it, but it was one of my takeaways personally. Anyway, this is going to have an economic impact.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that it might not necessarily have a negative economic impact on the players. First of all, I have spent the better part of a year now talking to players multiple times over. If you're in our Slack channel, you've seen some of the transcripts, and I've posted some of the audio for you from Unrivaled, talking to people from Athletes Unlimited, talking to Terry Jackson when she was at the ESPNW Summit. Like, I've done a lot of that work. I've been sharing it with you. And one thing I know is that Slim, who's now with Seattle, she's one of the players that told me one of the things that the Players Association did once they decided and voted that they were going to opt out is that the Players Association made sure the players knew that they needed to be smart with their money. And so people are saving, but Unrivaled has come along, and Unrivaled has a tenfold increase in their valuation from 35 million to 350 million in after just one season. They're expanding quicker than they thought, so they're going to be 8 teams. And they said a part of that valuation going up tenfold is that players are going to be paid more.
Yep.
They're going to have more roster spots. They're paying the players more. And so that's another opportunity here. Not to mention, some players are still going to go overseas. Some players are still playing in Athletes Unlimited. Not to mention all of the sponsorships. Everybody's got a podcast these days. So there's a lot happening. We have a lot to talk about. We usually go every other week in the off season. Well, I don't know, Roberta. We might be going every day on some of this stuff.
But, and can I just do a quick plug here, because it took me some time to set up here, because I was just finishing my story for Forbes about the unrivaled 340 million valuation and 2 teams, and I've also been covering the CBA negotiations. Covering the CBA negotiations got me a pretty snark remark from Gabby Williams, but I will keep covering it. So, if you want to know everything about the past, what currently is, and what's going to happen, this is the place. Eric and I have been very intentional about our coverage. My MBA capstone was on the history of the CBA. Masters in Business Association. And
I was like, your MBA.
Yeah, no. The capstone of my Master in Business Administration in Sport and Entertainment Management. So
I fact check that, fam.
Nah.
I'm gonna need you to fact check that.
Yeah. So so in my capstone, I had to make recommendations. And my main recommendations were to maximize the TV deal. So they didn't maximize, but they did get a good bump.
A good bump from literally nothing.
From nothing.
Anyway,
yeah.
Go ahead.
And the league needs to listen to players' demands. So all of this to say that really, if you want to have like reliable people who are talking and have been covering in the CBA, Eric and I are people that you can trust. And we, Erica is in the 3-letter network. Can we say the name?
Maybe not right now.
Okay. But you can keep following us. We're going to be closely covering the CBA.
Indeed. And also, Black Rosie Media is a national media outlet for the WNBA, which means that we do get awards. So awards gifts. So, and I / Black Rosie Media, a voting member, and I will, as I always do, make my votes public. You can also check them out in an article with the rest of my colleagues. But so black box, all black box here, and when you open the box, you get these. Connecticut has been doing these little posters for a while now, but we have case 0022, Sanaya Rivers. This is like a card here with all of her stats. But this, come on, that goes hard.
Yeah, I saw the one online.
Like, this is crazy. I'm getting very DMX vibes right now.
Yeah.
These glasses are tough.
She's one of the most stylish players in the league.
For real. So they got the whole dog. They have Layla Lacan, very good player. French national team, making a case for all rookie team and all defensive team. Just super dope. This is a cute photo. Like, I love this. And then Let Them Doubt, Anissa Morrow. Like, come on. This is dope.
Yeah.
Nez that beast, all rookie team and all defensive team. So these are dope. That's what's on the box to begin with. And then in the box, you get some stuffing. Love that. Because you get some cookie. Now my cookie broke, so but
Oh,
you get some cookies in there. I'll let you know what they taste like some other day. What else is in here? And then it's a t-shirt. I never go without I never go without great pajama shirts when it comes to awards.
oh yeah.
But you can see this,
Oh,
the
that's cool.
underdogs. And then it has the names on the back. So they're pushing Rivers, Morrow, and Lacan. That's pretty dope. But the one, of course, everyone wants to see, which honestly is a little reminiscent of one we saw, I think, in 2016, 2015, 2016
For Stewie?
for Stewie. But they go back to the Crown Her.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking also, yeah, it seems it looks a lot like the
It's very similar, and I'll show you what gave it away. Well, first of all, I honestly think I still have the chocolate from that box. I think I literally just put it away today.
I have the
But,
shirt. I use it to sleep and to go to
We
CrossFit.
have a proclamation, a royal proclamation. Hear ye, hear ye. Loyal WNBA fans and media, by decree of the crown, we hereby issue the most noble proclamation in support of Madam President Nneka Ogwumike for most valuable player and first team all WNBA, Gabby Williams for defensive player of the year and all defensive team, Skylar Diggins for first team all WNBA and all defensive first team, Brittany Sykes and Ezzy Magbagor for all defensive first team, Erica Wheeler for most improved player.
Listen, if I had a vote, that would be mine.
Dominique Malunga for all rookie team. Let it be declared and set forth upon this day. This campaign is henceforth in motion. Crown her. And then they even give wax seal. Love that. The box, I showed you Crown her. The inside, come on. There we go. And it says on the top, let no ballot pass uncast. All right. So basically, they're saying get your vote in. Now, I have a nice little keychain, Crown Her, like that. I love a good pen, Crown Her pen. I should have done display for my settings here. Okay, first of all, the paperclip is a crown, and then there's a deck of cards here. Crown Her.
Which was also in the Stewie. Yeah.
Most valuable player. Ooh, Icy. I like this one.
Oh yeah, that's the Gabby one.
Sky. Dominique Malunga on the layup.
Yep.
Ooh, Ezzy's paint. Let's go. This one goes hard. This one goes hard. Yeah. Ooh, Slim. I haven't.
That's a really cool one. Yeah.
And then which one is this? Oh, Erica Wheeler.
Yeah.
Make it rain. Make it rain. Okay, so then we have they always give a little confetti. A little confetti. I've still got crowns. They're gonna fly out of here. They're gonna keep flying out of here.
Oh, that's a nice shirt.
Yeah, this is nice, right? Still more confetti flying. You can see a little of the glitter. All right, nice t-shirt. Love it. And then this is so I get another chocolate bar, Crown Her.
Ooh. And
the crowns. I love these things.
Ooh, they're cute. Nice.
So there you go. And then at the bottom of the box, under all of boom.
That was I love that logo.
Yeah, right? That goes hard. Well done. Well done. I know there are some other teams. Sometimes, honestly, I get the boxes super late and I'm like, I can't even show them off. So, but I'm glad the Seattle Storm one came in so I could show it to you. Thank you also, of course, to the Seattle Storm. Thank you, of course, to the Connecticut Sun. These are super dope. And for anyone else whose boxes might come in the next handful of days, I appreciate it. I am kind of interested in what these cookies taste like. I think they're sugar cookies. I feel like that's a safe,
Yeah.
a safe flavor.
Yeah, I think they actually had some dessert for us there yesterday, so that was good too.
I heard that. And New York did too.
Less regular season game, Is it good? How much out of 10?
I'd say it's a solid. This is a great cookie. If I had some hot chocolate, it would easily be like an 11 out of 10. This is like almost the perfect consistency to just dunk in to a cocoa, or some people dunk cookies into tea, no judgment, or coffee. I'm a cocoa gal myself, but it's just crunchy enough, It's not like a full-on biscuit, but it'll like really sop up a warm.
It's really good to dip.
Pretty solid. I'm gonna save the rest. Get me some hot cocoa.
It's starting to chill a little bit. At least here in Seattle, it's already fall weather. So,
speaking of Seattle fall weather, yours truly, hear ye, I will be in Seattle.
Woo!
I'll be in Seattle. We know they're getting a home game, and so I should be able to line that up. I will be in Seattle for hockey first and foremost, so I gotta double check the schedule. But
Erica, someone is coming for you in the comments, and your taste.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I don't even understand. Why wouldn't you dip? Why wouldn't you?
I just want to stir the pot. Why wouldn't you?
I don't like. Yeah. Also, like, don't yuck my yum. What do you want me to dip into my ice? No. It's chocolate. A cookie and chocolate. Why wouldn't you? I didn't know that was controversial.
Now that I think about it, I haven't really seen many people dip cookies in cocoa. Yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of that.
Where are y'all from? What do you mean? I don't know.
I think like people with milk.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What? I didn't know this was controversial.
Yeah.
It's cocoa. You put marshmallows in cocoa. There are literal do y'all know what like biscotti cookies are? Like not the Biscoff, not the ones you get on the Delta flights, but there are biscotti. Somebody please. I don't know. Is this an East Coast? Is this a New York thing? Is this an Italian bakery thing? There are very specific cookies that are like you dip them in warm beverages.
Yeah, but usually I do that with tea. Because Trader Joe's sells some really good ones. And I usually have them. I get them on fall and winter, and I dip like tea.
I don't put milk in my tea, so I drink herbal teas. So I don't want a cookie in like an herbal. I don't want cookie in my hibiscus ginger elderberry tea.
It's so good though.
No,
it just gives
just sugar on sugar. Like.
No, I like it with my because I love.
Say a cookie was hot chocolate's best friend. Nobody said that. But I do. If I have a cookie and this is a perfect dipping cookie, and if I had some hot chocolate, actually I do. I keep hot chocolate on the ready. I just don't have any milk, but I will be dipping this. I will be dunking these, which is also apropos because basketball. I didn't know
to say that where you dip your cookie would be one of the biggest controversies.
I had no idea.
Farm podcast.
A biscotti cookie is literally a dipping cookie. Like that's what they're made for. That's what you do because they're so like they're so crunchy that you break your teeth if you just ate them. You dip them. I didn't know that was controversial. What in the world? Hey, Rock, what's up? Go Storm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
people were
melt
very
milk,
happy. Yes.
and then I'll drizzle it on top of my cookie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marshmallows, yes. I don't get down with whipped cream. Not my thing.
No. Just
Not my vibe.
yeah. But anyways, I saw that some people were like, yeah, Neka shouldn't be in the talk for MVP. She should. I think she should. She had a tremendous year. I've been team Neka for, I mean, not for MVP like the top one because Nafisa Collier. But I think that she deserves to be in the top 4.
The top 4?
Yeah. She had a really good year.
The top?
Even though I'm saying
4?
something good. I'm kicked out. For those who are new here, this podcast is not a democracy. And
No.
it is a Erica-ocracy, and sometimes I am
crown her.
Oh,
I got an afro today. So
there's a very important question in the comments, Erica.
Oh, what is it?
By Steven.
If the Storm were a cookie, what would they be? Oh, wow.
Black and white, because you never know what you're gonna get.
Pretty much. Like something where you're a little afraid that it might not be cooked all the way through in the middle. But sometimes a cookie that's not cooked all the way through is a good thing. But sometimes it's really not. It's really not. Like, it just depends. Like, is it a chocolate chip, ooey gooey chocolate chip cookie? Or is it just a sugar cookie that you ain't cook all the way through?
But if we're talking about leave-in cookies, you don't want them to be cooked all the way through. So there's that also.
Moni, the way you said this in my mind's eye, is you're saying it, but not because you disagree with me. You're just a little shook that I said it out loud.
I would say for me it's the black and white, because that's how they've been the whole season.
See, I knew it. The fact that I have only heard your voice once through a voice note, but I've already clocked it. Like, you have a whole persona in my mind.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Like, I feel like I can read into people's energy in the comments. Like Craig has a voice to me as well. No, I don't know Craig. Love Craig's comments. Never heard Craig's voice. Couldn't pick Craig off the street. Sorry to Craig. Sorry to Craig. And yet, when I do meet and hear Craig for the first time, I feel like I will know.
Yeah.
That is what I know. I love our community. I love our community.
It's very special.
Tasty cookie dough, prep for perfection, but not. Thank you. Somebody gets me.
I get it.
You see what I mean? Like, it could be dangerous. I might get sick, or this is the best thing ever as far as comfort food. I don't know. Like a box of chocolates. A box of chocolates. No, okay. Jokes aside. Listen, Nneka as the MVP. First of all, you and I have disagreed at different times who even the MVP of the Storm is. I would say Erica Wheeler was definitely the MVP of Tuesday. That being said, yes, Nneka MVP for the Seattle Storm. But as Becky put everyone on notice, and of course Carolyn Peck asked her that question. Of course Carolyn Peck asked the question. But for those of y'all who missed it, we are going to talk about it on We Need to Talk Now podcast, which is on CBS Sports. We will be talking about this, but we need to talk about Becky Hammon absolutely going hard in the paint for A'ja Wilson for MVP. A'ja Wilson was not my preseason pick for MVP. And for most of the season, she was not my pick for MVP. But I feel like we talked about it on Black Rosie Media. I know I talked about it on CBS. I said, Fee getting hurt, will that hurt your chances for
Mm-hmm.
MVP because Asia has the Aces on a 15-game winning streak. She's breaking record after record after record. And that's only Asia. So you have
Yeah.
Asia and V, I think, are interchangeable for most people. Not everyone, but for most people as the top two. Then you have Alyssa Thomas. Then you got to think about, okay, I feel like not enough people, once again, are talking about Kelsey Mitchell. And if
I
you,
know.
what, where would Indiana be without Kelsey Mitchell?
They would be nowhere, but also where would this, like, the Storm is not that far, but NECA has been made like some, NECA has done some damage this season.
And I get that. MVP of the Seattle Storm, but when you have Asia doing what she's doing, Fee doing what she did for most of the season, then you have AT, then you have Kelsey Mitchell, who I think there is a 6, if you include their coach, 6 season-ending injuries, including the creator of basketball herself. What do you mean?
Only one of the liches survived the season.
Don't even. I refuse that. You know what? Goodbye. We don't talk about the leche. If I can't have chocolate milk for my cookies, we are not talking about 1, 2, or 3 milks. No, thank you. No, thank you. We're not doing it.
I got kicked out twice.
Eagles brother. I love Madam President, but MVP, no. Definitely second team all W. First and second team is going to be controversial again this year because seeing NECA potentially on second team, I don't have her as an MVP top 4. I don't have her in the MVP race top 3. Definitely not. But second team seems wild to me. I haven't pulled out my, like, I'm gonna do that later tonight and like really look at everything. Second team seems wild, and yet there's a part of my mind that's like, yeah, she might end up on second team. That's how stacked. Right. That's how stacked.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I'm not like a voting member because it's like a lot of responsibility, and I honestly feel that after 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3 for MVP is definitely not in this exact order, but Fee, Asia, and AT. But after that, I feel like that there are so many nuances that you could argue. So many players could take that 4th spot. Kelsey Mitchell, Leash, you know, it's. I think that's also.
Leash.
That's what I'm saying. There are so many. You have to make a choice, right? Eventually, you're gonna have to make a choice. So, and it's not gonna be the easiest voting. And honestly, Rookie of the Year for me, it's Paige. I know that Sonny Citron had a really good year. She's a solid second, but I think that Paige is
probably Paige. I always double, triple, quadruple check the numbers because I'm an eye test person, so I have an idea, but I write. I feel like I've said this before on the podcast. I write who I think it is without looking at any numbers, just based on what I remember and what's in my mind right now. I write that down first, then I look at the numbers and I try to prove myself wrong.
Yeah, and if that's a good process.
Yeah, if I can't prove myself wrong, then I keep the name that I had. If I can, then I'm sometimes I switch it around. But right now, I'm not locking in Paige to Rookie of the Year. I definitely want to look at the numbers. She's who I will probably write down just like, whoop. But I think I want to really look at the numbers because Sonia Citron, like her impact has been wild. And like no one expected her. I guess maybe more of the question is, will Paige win unanimous Rookie of the Year?
Oh, I don't think she will.
I don't think so because did Caitlin get unanimous?
No, there was one single vote for Angel Reese. I really wanted to know who that media member is.
It wasn't me.
Because even though I was like, thing in the world.
I predicted Reese over Clark last year. I did. And then I put Clark as my vote. because like it was close for a little bit and then Angel got hurt and things
Yeah,
changed.
I agree. At some point, I thought that Angel Reese had a better case for Rookie of the Year, but Caitlin Clark really took off that second half. And there was like no.
This is different. Usually people leave off the A in my name, but there's an I in there. Don't forget it.
Yeah, it's just I don't think Paige is going to be unanimous because the way that Sonia is impacting Washington is very remarkable. So that might skew people to giving her the top vote. Now,
100%.
I think that's also going to be all rookie. That Dominic Malong is definitely going to be there. Like I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Yeah, I agree here. And that's why I try in my process to not have recency bias. I really do. Because I'm an eye test person. I really am an eye test person. So
I agree,
I'm gonna go
Moni.
with my gut first and then try to prove myself wrong. That's how I
Yeah.
do.
That's so here's the thing with the fee versus Asia, and I'm not like it's basketball. The comparison has to be there because only one person is going to take the award. I feel that Fee was more consistent for longer than
Yes.
Asia, and that is something that I take into consideration.
Actually, see, and this is something actually I don't completely agree with that. I think that Fee was efficient. Asia Wilson had last time I checked, and this was when they were at 14 wins consecutive. Asia Wilson has, I think, I probably still have the notes over here. Actually, hold on. Asia Wilson, I believe, has 13 30 plus 30 or more point games. I think it's like 13 or something crazy, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Eight of them have come during the winning streak.
Yeah.
So Asia Wilson has been pretty dang good for most of the season.
She has.
But her super highs have come, staggered. Whereas Fee has been, I hear what you're saying. What has impressed me about Fee is that she set her mind to a 50, 40, 90 season, and she's pretty much done that while she's been healthy. So this takes me back. And I'm not mad about it anymore, but maybe if this was 5 minutes ago, I would be. But I think it was 20. When did Nneka win? Did she win MVP in 2015 or 2016?
I think it was 2016. I think it was the year that the Sparks won. Or
it was one of the. I think it was 2016 because
I think it was 2016.
Charles
Yeah,
was the other player, and I will not forgive people for not giving Tina Charles MVP that year. I didn't.
2016.
I wasn't a voter. I wasn't a voter that back then. But the argument people made were like, oh well, Nneka was more efficient, and I was like, okay, but it's not most efficient player; it's most valuable player.
Yeah, but also okay. When I feel like
it was 2016.
It was 2016. That was when that was the year that the Sparks won, and she was like crucial for that championship. I think that it's a mix of both. I don't think that it's a player that's the most impactful in a team, but it's a player that was most valuable amongst all of the players, and efficiency does play a big role in it. I think that
efficiency can play a big role in it. But if you have someone who maybe isn't the most efficient, but has the most, for just as an example, the most game-winning shots, the most points in clutch time, how are you going to say that that person's not more valuable than someone who is consistent?
One thing that I'm going to say is that I was talking about Alyssa Thomas, right? And there was that justification that people were putting her numbers against Fee's and Asia's because Fee and Asia are I don't have their averages now, but AT is averaging 15.9 per game, I think, and then 9 point something steals and 9 point something rebounds. She's almost averaging a triple double. And she's not over 20 per game, but across the board, she is excelling in all of the fundamentals.
100%.
And I think that, people always look at the points first. Yes, Asia and Fee have very high numbers in points, but AT's the way that she balances with steals and rebounds puts her on the same level.
It's not even just steals though. Like her assists are ridiculous.
Sorry, assists. Sorry, that's what I meant. Assists. She has 9 assists. The S confused me. 9 assists and 9 rebounds. She's almost averaging a triple double. That's how crazy it is.
Listen, Moni, I would love to believe that AT can steal it. All I have to say is she had the most number 1 votes last year, and it was stolen from her. I said what I said. I said what I said. I had AT as 1. I'm pretty sure I had Stewie at 2 and Asia at 4. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. I did not.
So you were that person. Someone clip this. Someone clip this.
Don't do that. Do not do that to me. Do not do that to me.
Yeah, so AT has 15.7 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and 9.3 assists per game. So Asia is just like 0.1 rebound for double average. She's 23.4 points per game and 9.9 rebounds per game. But like what AT is doing just like across the board is insane. And it would be just so sad if she never takes an MVP. But also,
I don't think she is going to. We were having this conversation. Well, I'll save it for the podcast, for the We Need to Talk Now podcast. But yeah, I said what I said. Efficiency isn't the only measure of an individual award, especially when efficiency is not inherently explicitly a part of the conversation. But that's what all of these awards are up for interpretation. I have always said I lean into the V in MVP, most valuable, not best player, best team, because the best player, best team doesn't always amount to very much comparative to clutch time, again, game-winning shots, all of those things. Like, Connecticut got it. Connecticut knows they looking for a dog. They looking for a dog. And MVP.
Sanaya deserves.
Also, I don't think you can be an MVP if you don't play defense.
I agree, and Fee's a great defender.
So is Asia. So is AT.
Fee's a better defender than Asia.
They coming for you.
I mean, I'm not saying that Asia is a bad defender. Like it's like the creme de la creme, Sabio. It's like I think that Fee is a better defender. It doesn't mean that Asia is a bad defender.
No, doesn't. Tammy, I'm glad you came back to this because I did see, I forget right now who asked the question about Dom. If you had played your number 2 player, then Dom would have a better case for 6th player.
I agree with you.
I don't think that's the reason. You shouldn't only play her so that she can be eligible. But comparative to what we have seen from other players that have been more consistent in the lineup and have been, I think it's going to be tough.
I have a take here.
Do it.
If Dominic Malonga had been properly used, she could be Rookie of the Year.
No.
Number 2. She could. If she had been properly used. And I'm saying that, again, Paige fans, please don't hate on me. But if she had been used more and helped the Storm, be in a better position, because the Wings didn't make the playoffs, that could give her an edge for some voters. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. She could.
This one is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Money. I feel like she. What is that?
The Anissa cookie is really, really good. It's gotta be like an 8.5. I don't even need cocoa.
Yeah. Well, I think that yeah, I think that this is going to be a very heated award season. There's going to be a lot of yeah, but I feel like last season and this one, it shows just like, more than ever. The one vote for Angel got people so like gave people so many feelings, and I think it was a fair vote. Angel Weiss had a great rookie year, and yeah.
She did. And she was my preseason vote. And for a while, I was looking really smart. Cleveland had the better.
It's all about like first half, second half. I feel like first half of the season. That's where my comment about NECA for MVP comes from. Was like the first half of the season, just like last season, I said that Noelle Quinn could be coach of the year, and then last season for the first half. This is not news for you. First half of the season.
And neither is my face news for you. I'm my girl.
Yeah. So there's so much that can be taken into consideration. And early on, it's one story. And then, if we can just, I want to circle back to last night's game, the Seattle Storm. Mm-hmm. The third quarter has been a determining quarter for the Storm the whole season, for good or for bad, like for better or for worse. And
I'm having so much fun with my gifts.
Yeah. And the third quarter last night was one of those that we saw being very positive for the Seattle Storm. That's when they started coming back in the game and were able to take the lead, and they were able to get that run for the win. So it's crazy how third quarters have been so important for the Storm. It the way they play a third quarter determines if they win or lose a game. And unfortunately, whenever they get to the third quarter not winning, it just hasn't been a really good year third quarter wise for the Storm. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Not only do I agree with Tammy, but I will add one way to have gotten her to where she is quicker is to have played her more in the beginning of the season.
I agree. She should have played more. And I think that, again, this is about Noelle Quinn's coaching style rather than Dominic Malonga being ready or not for the WNBA. Because last season we also saw, and again, very different player. We're talking about, I think it was third round that Nika Mule was picked, but Nika Mule didn't play last year, and I think she did deserve time on the court. So Dominic Malonga could have a really solid case for Rookie of the Year. She was just not played.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for her to get defensive player. All rookie team seems like a good one, but yeah, I don't know.
I have one question for you, Erica. Of the awards that the Storm is pitching to media, which Storm player has a bigger chance of winning an individual, not first team, not second team, but winning an individual award?
Okay. Per the proclamation, the royal proclamation, here are the candidates. And the nominees are Madam President Nneka Ogwumike for Most Valuable Player. No. First team All WNBA, maybe. I haven't looked at it yet. Gabby Williams, Defensive Player of the Year, maybe, but probably not. To be honest, all defensive first team,
Definitely.
maybe. I have to look at it. I haven't all teams are always a little tough, and because you have to pick a certain amount of players in any position, and it gets a little wonky. And so anyway, and sometimes that's how people lose out between first and second team, which is crazy. But anyway, Skylar Diggins, first team all WNBA, possible. All defensive first team, I'm thinking probably not. Brittany Sykes, all defensive first team. Brittany or Ezzy, all defensive first team. They're not both gonna get it.
No. No, I think only one is star player.
Most improved player, Erica Wheeler. I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't think so, but I wish.
Team, yes. Dominique Malonga has the best chance per what the Royal Proclamation is.
You think so?
In my estimation, as all rookie team, yeah. And there's only one all rookie team. It's not first team, second team.
No, yeah, but I mean like individual, like one that only one player is picked. I think that Gabby Williams is the one that has a better shot at winning the individual award. And I think that sixth player of the year, it has to go to Natisha Heidman. I mean, she has been just so good for the Fever. I think so. I mean, that's if I had a pick, that would be the pick. Drinks water so she doesn't kick me off the...
I'm also just thirsty. Yeah. Because I don't have any cocoa for my
cookies. Because all of the cookies and
no cocoa for my cookies. That Anissa Morrow cookie was good, man. Nice. It had a little chocolate on it, which made it was a little softer, but not too sweet. Oh, that one was good. That was a good cookie.
Nice.
That was a good cookie.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be tough. Remember, this is a Seattle team that has not been consistent. Ezzy has not been consistent.
No, she hasn't.
Has not been played consistently until recently. That hurts her chances for an individual award. Sky's been a little up and down, but when she's good, she's good. Erica, I was like, yo, y'all might need to find a way to get Erica Wheeler to the All-Star game the way she was playing at All-Star break. I was here for it. I wasn't gonna throw a fit if she didn't make it, but I would have loved to see it. And then we did. We got to see her and Tosh in the skills competition.
Yeah.
That was dope. NECA, it's just tough. She is her for Seattle. Comparative to the field, I just don't think she's gonna crack through on an individual award.
Yeah, I think that Gabby Williams has the best shot at winning an individual award.
I don't know. Sixth player, I don't think is very obvious. I don't think there's a.
I agree. I think that
there's at least a solid 3-4. Not even there's solid 4 players that you can make a strong case for a sixth player.
And I think Natisha Heidman has been the most consistent for the Fever, and it's also a team that's winning. So the Lynx. Did I say the Fever?
You did.
Sorry, Midwest team.
That's Naz Hillman. I also think Jessica Shepard has had some good minutes for a while. I see what you're saying about Heidemann. Jess Shepard, I think, was really good for Minnesota early on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she'll win, but I think she should be a part of the conversation. Who else was I thinking for sixth? Naz, Shepard. Oh, well, I mentioned Malunga when we talked about it on We Need to Talk Now. It's going to be tough.
It is going to be it's going to be
Defensive Player of the Year. First of all, you want to talk about being the only person. I know for a fact I was the only person who voted Courtney Williams for Defensive Player of the Year because I threw away my vote. I did. I could not figure out a solid, surefire metric that I felt comfortable with giving the edge to Fee or Asia. And people want to say, oh, look at the numbers. Excuse me. In all sports, defense is the worst tracked metric. It is because you have to quantify something that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It was. It was on CBS.
I think you all should ask about her most improved player vote for last season.
Oh, and also I've said this multiple times. Sabrina Ionescu. Some people want to be like, well, because her ceiling is so high, she shouldn't be in the running for most improved. Did the child improve or not? Like, maybe she'll win MVP in 10 years. So now I'm not going to vote her most improved. Did she improve or nah?
Yeah, I feel like the concept of MIP is a little different from that. I think that's the case.
What is it? What is
because
it?
it's like we're not Sabrina was great.
Didn't play a lot, and so now they're playing on what their usual load would be. So now all of a sudden they're most improved. Like, to me, that seems ridiculous.
No, I don't think it's going like from great to even greater. It's probably going from either good to great or so to good.
That's silly to me. That's so silly to me.
That's how I see it.
That's so silly to me.
That's how I can.
What are we gonna do? Like an MVP light? MVP and MVP light.
Someone is saying that Erica is the GOAT in the in the comments. Makes sense.
It's like I see it. Like the words are there for a reason. Like, if it was best player, we would call it best player award. But that's not what we talk about. If it was like, you know what, you tried so hard, and you know what,
I tried so hard.
Kind of players, we're gonna give you this. Like, some awards, I promise, the vibes that I get is that the people were like, well, we couldn't vote them for MVP, so we're gonna give them this award.
Okay, I have a question.
Don't even get me started on Candace Parker. How did Candace Parker win defensive player of the year and didn't make the all defensive team?
That's what I was going to ask you. One of the things I was going to ask you: does the defensive player have to make the all defensive? Because I feel like that's the supreme defender. It's obvious that they are in the all defensive.
How do you have a ballot?
Yeah,
and you put your best defensive player in the entire league, and they don't make first or second team? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it
is. The woman on social media where she is like, straight to the guillotine.
Oh, the Judas cradle.
Right?
Yeah, 7 years for you
driver.
And your Uber driver.
What do you mean?
I love
her.
What do you mean? Yeah. I think it's going to be very it's going to be a rough one.
This is interesting. Okay, does MIP have to be season over season? I think quite literally, yes. Do you know? Oh my gosh. Do you know people were like, yeah, last year, Caitlin Clark was a what? A first year, aka a rookie.
Yeah.
Do you know people wanted her to win most improved player?
Oh, I saw that. It's crazy. That's crazy talk.
What? Oh,
no.
Why?
Why would the rookie be the most improved player if they have no previous professional experience to improve from? Like, you need to have something. It is seasonal.
Say is just wild. I know for a fact that NHL awards, they give a description. I feel like the WNBA might need to write a little blurb because some of these votes are wild, including, yes, I just told y'all I threw away a vote because you know what? It doesn't say that I can. And I couldn't decide between Fee and Asia. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Okay, I have a question for you. which awards do you think we're going to see Caitlin Clark in? That's it. Good night, everyone. Does she even have enough games to qualify for like?
Well, that's another thing. Not all awards have qualified. What is she winning?
She has a
year. I bet you right now people are going to fill out their 2026 or 27, who knows, their 2027 ballot and be like, whatever happens, Caitlin Clark is most improved. Should she win most improved, even though she only played 13 games? I would hope she improved if she plays more than 13 games. You see what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? This child will probably win MIP because that's how some people vote. For me, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You were injured. That's comeback. That's comeback player. That's not most improved player necessarily.
Yeah.
Now, just because that doesn't mean you didn't improve. But to say, oh, well, she only played 13 games and now she played 43 and her numbers are sky high. She played 13 games. Mm-hmm. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, I'm already mad. I'm already mad for the next voting cycle.
It's going to be crazy. Yeah.
Because I guarantee that people are going to want her to sweep Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP. And MIP.
Yeah. It's crazy how some people were already putting her in the MVP conversation when the season had barely started.
That was wild. I was like, excuse me, did y'all see what Fee was doing at Unrivaled? And I knew Asia was not going to let the Aces look crazy. Now she let like the Aces look crazy for a long time. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Because I put the Aces in the finals. In the finals because I was like, the way Asia was talking last year, I was like, she not gonna let that team funk it up again. She not gonna do it. And then I was like, maybe I was wrong. The auntie vibes were wrong, but they weren't. It just took a little while.
Yeah, I was asked on Fox 13 if I thought the Storm was going to be a top 3 team, and I was like, no, because you have
Ditto. Also, I was literally asked about her, but nice try.
And but the thing is that, like, you know, we're talking about women's basketball. She's one of the most talked about players. How can we not talk about her? It's, you know, but anyways, I was asked if the Storm was going to be a top 3 team, and I was like, no, because you have the Minnesota Lynx. I said the New York Liberty. I did say that the Atlanta Dream would surprise lots of people, and I said you can never not count the Aces. The Aces is going to be rebuilding. They're going to be. I know what you're talking about. I know what your expression is for, Erica. And I was like, you can't count the Aces out, and that's exactly what is happening.
Never.
Yeah. So I was like, the same way that people are like, oh, the
timestamps on here, 10:05 and 10:06. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, continue.
So that's what I was like, any team that has Asia Wilson, that's something that I thoroughly believe in. Any team that has Asia Wilson is a championship contender. I don't think that's any team that she's in. If Asia Wilson was in the Chicago Sky, in the Dallas Wings, I would put them like championship contender because of Asia Wilson.
Facts.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, I wasn't in the hype I thought the Storm had a really good team, but I knew that it was going to take there would be like a buffer period, the same way that I thought about other teams that I'm not going to mention, because apparently there's a certain amount of times that you can talk about a team or a person during a period. So, there are so many nuances.
It only applies to me, though, so you're good.
It's crazy that it only applies to you, because I
use my deductive reasoning skills to assume it only applies to me. Also, what qualifies as a quote unquote real league?
Yeah.
Were they paying real money or was it monopoly money?
Is it because Florida is not a real
Didn't
state?
they have a real broadcast deal? Think so.
Yeah.
Think so.
Yeah, it's probably because Florida is not a real state.
I'm not even touching that today, but there's been too much going on for me to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, I don't know. Was Ice Cube's offer a real offer?
Oof.
I don't know. I mean, what are the qualifiers here? Because right now it's kind of sounding like maybe you helped write the WNBA awards because there's no qualifiers.
Yep.
Or they change. They're up for interpretation as long as it suits the narrative, which is why a lot of people get worked up because there's a lack of transparency.
Mm-hmm.
The people who reveal their awards the most are also usually the people who get the most crap on social media, which is hilarious to me, aka Black women.
Yep, a lot of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are the qualifiers? What are the qualifiers here? And as y'all can see, I don't care that I was the only person to vote for some people in certain categories. I already told you, I put Courtney Williams because I couldn't decide between the two best defenders. And yeah, that was a throwaway vote. It doesn't say I can't do that, and that's what I did.
It also doesn't mean that Courtney Williams wasn't one of the best defenders last season.
She was. I looked at the numbers. I was like, this is not where a lot of people are going with the conversation, and I completely understand that. But she also had good defensive numbers as much as you can quantify defense, because I love defense, and there are certain things that make someone a very good defender that are all about intuition. It's about timing. It's about anticipation, and those things you cannot quantify.
Yeah.
Period. You have to watch games, and that's part of the reason why defensive. Ooh, I'm not going there. Not today. Not today, Satan. Not today. One day I will tell you how I really feel about Candace Parker winning Defensive Player of the Year. And she got it because of one play. One play. If you know, you know. But again, I'm not going to go down that road today. But I don't know. And it's been tough for me too some years where I'm like, I got to check myself. Have I watched enough games of all of the league to reasonably, outside of just the numbers, pick someone for defensive player? Yeah. But it can't be all numbers, and it can't be all eye test either. Because I don't know a single soul that watches WNBA games. I'm not saying they don't exist unless they work for the league or maybe a team, a media member. I don't know that there is a media member who can say realistically that every year they watch an equitable amount of games.
It's impossible, especially this season when every game is happening at the same time.
Now there are like the Doug Feinbergs where I would believe that Doug. Now I don't know. This is me reading tea leaves. I don't know that anyone watches every single game. Certainly not live. You literally can't. Hello, Ion Fridays. How you doing that? How many screens you got? What do you pay to? What is the eye doctor called? What are they? Jesus, what are they called? Optometrist. I was like, I know it's one of the. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. Okay. What are you paying your optometrist, baby, to watch all those games in one sitting? I don't even know.
Or just it's impossible. You have 4 games happening at the same time one 100%. Day.
And again, things like defense, you can watch the highlights, but you're probably missing good defensive plays because defensive plays don't always make the highlight reel.
No.
So it's very
unfortunately because
objective. There's a lot that goes into voting, and that's why I don't know if people know this, but every team has one designated media member who is the voter for that team.
Seattle, I think it's Elise and Percy.
So they have 2. I thought you only were supposed to get 1. See, now there are things.
When I was working at the Storm and I was helping send stuff out, I saw Elise and Percy, and Kevin Pelton was national.
Interesting. Well, I always thought it was one person designated per team. Now, that doesn't mean that only one media member from a beat gets a vote, but there's one that's designated as the voter for that team. And then like I've been a voter before, but because I'm a national writer. I don't know, like I don't know. I wonder, is it like an electoral college? Like, how do they figure out how many media members per like team, especially for media who covers only one team? Like, that's really interesting to me. That's another thing. We don't know who the voters are. I know who has told me that they vote, and sometimes I have conversations with other people. And I tell people that I'm a voter. Like, they don't say that we can't tell people we're a voter, but some people don't say anything about it. They never say anything about awards.
No, but lots of media members are revealing their votes online. That's the only way we know who is voting. I think that's, I knew at some point because
$20 is real money. Like, it's not a lot of money compared to like $100 or $50 or $250,000, but
except
$20 is real. Like, I don't. Again, like maybe can we define real? Like, what does real mean? Significant.
I mean, let's not forget.
Real are not synonyms.
Let's not forget that the women's tennis professional league started with players signing a $1 contract so they could become professionals.
Sure, right. I mean, but what's real? Real money is
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
versus significant. You know, I don't know.
No,
Maybe
I'm saying that like it's what makes it professional. I think it's just the level of play. That's
Well, what makes professional sports professional is that people are paid.
Yeah.
So that's how professional sports are defined. Then you have semi-pro where they're not paid significant money, real money, but is it significant?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
words matter. Here.
I
hereby declare words matter. All right, folks. That's all she wrote. I'm gonna eat the rest of my cookies after I make myself a hot cocoa.
Oh,
I wish I had marshmallows. No,
and I actually have to go to Fred Meyer to get some food.
What do you think about announcers revealing their vote during a game broadcast before the voting has closed? First of all, I don't know why people reveal their vote before voting has closed. That just seems kind of silly to me. And Becky Hammond had some thoughts about this. That's what I thought. Elise, because some broadcasters do have votes, whether they're national or team broadcasters. Yeah. So there's a difference, I think, between the team designated voter, which I always thought was just one person, or maybe that's just because I know in New York it's only one person. I don't know. But then there are broadcasters who have votes. There are national media who have votes. I think some national broadcasters have votes, but some don't. Like I honestly have no idea. I don't know if the number always stays the same. Does it grow by how much? Like I don't know if it's 5 of us or like 55 of us. It's clearly more than 5 because they actually do the tally. So I could probably figure it out.
Is Doug New York or national?
Well, Doug lives in New York, but he's a national. He writes for the Associated Press. Press is national. Yeah.
Just curious how they qualified him.
So I mean, announcers, but like, are they revealing their vote because they actually have a vote, or are they just revealing who they would pick? See, that's a little different.
Yeah,
I don't know. As an announcer, I don't. I mean, I've been not in WNBA, but. I'm trying to remember if when I was announcing hockey, if I had a vote, I think I did. I would say something like, my front runner right now is, but I would never, before a vote, I would never reveal my ballot personally. Yeah. Now, sometimes they ask you on a broadcast, like I've been asked to do that and I don't love doing that. But if I'm asked to do it by my producers, then that's a little bit of a different story. But anyway, okay, but
that's not the point.
Sure. Unrivaled is literally 1 year old. Of course, it's not going to make you a Hall of Famer. Duh.
Yep.
Like, no one is making the Hall of Fame because they played well in year 1 of Unrivaled. But people who played well in year 1 of Unrivaled are also going to be Hall of Famers.
Yep. It doesn't. It's not. It's never gonna make sense.
Like, come
there
on.
Is no.
Skylar Diggins isn't going to be a Hall of Famer. Fee's not going to be a Hall of Famer. What? Like what? 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 What?
What?
I don't even know. I'm going to reclaim my time, and I want y'all to do the same. We got to figure this out. We'll know the schedule. We'll keep things flexy. We'll keep it flexy. I love that guy too on YouTube. Stay flexy. But do you know that guy, that creator? He's so fun.
I don't know that guy.
Stay flexy. Like, he's so fun. Anyway, stay flexy, everyone. But stay tuned with us on Slack and social media, because we will let you know. We're probably going to have some impromptu recordings and thoughts. We'll have the newsletter with Brian, all of the things. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate y'all so much. On behalf of Joveta, my name is Erica. You have been listening to Tempestade Talk. You're keeping a local eye on the Seattle Storm, part of Black Rosie Media. We don't have the Ellie Wave on this episode or on this show. We got to come up with something. But for now, I know we got to come up with something. And I will see you in the it's 206, right? Yeah, I'll see you in Seattle.
Yes.
That's soon. I'll be there in time for game 2 for sure. So we got to link up. Does anyone know Island Soul? I think it's Island Soul, right? Rum Bar, one of my favorite spots. Rough and Tumble. And then I have to check out the new women's sports bar. Also,
Itch the Baby.
And then Rough and Tumble getting a new location next month in October. We've got a lot of places we can link up, fam. But again, stay in the Slack channel. I'll let y'all know where I'm going to be doing the hockey for sure. But since Seattle is in the playoffs, the WNBA playoffs, y'all know I'm going to be rolling through there too. All right. Have a great night, everyone. We'll catch you on the next stream. Later.